So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a CSS rule that can affect these anchor tags. So I'm going to create an anchor CSS rule that is going to change the color of all of the anchors on this page from the traditional blue to orange. And then I'm going to save this style sheet and refresh the browser. And then when I refresh the browser, because this is a general rule, all of the anchors on this web page will turn to orange. Now, since I have some anchors in one section and some anchors in another section, I'm going to create a specific CSS rule for all of the anchors that are in section 1. So it's going to be a class selector, and we're going to change the color of those to red, and then text decoration none means that there will not be an underline. So if I save this one now and I refresh my browser, any of them that are in section 1 will change to red. Any of the rest of them will use the global rule that they will stay orange. I'm going to add one more rule down here that we saw in the presentation that is a pseudo class selector, that if you hover over any of the anchors on this web page, that it will change the color of the anchor to green. If I save this and I refresh my browser, the only time I see a difference is if I hover over any of the anchors, it will change it from its stylized color to green. So I'm going to do one more thing. Because in my document links, there's actually a link to another web page. So if I click on that link, it takes me to a web page, but there was nothing in it. So I'm going to see if I can add some things to it, and then see if it can be controlled or styled by our style sheet. So I'll come back to the folder that has my second web page in it. If I open it with my notepad, I'm going to add some things to it. I'll put at the top that it's a doc type HTML. I'll add the opening and closing HTML tags. I'll have a header and a body. Inside of the header, I'm going to put a title. This is my second web page. And in the body, I'm just going to put a header 1 and a header 2. And then I'm going to save that and see what it looks like. So if I come back into my folder and I double click on the saved page, I can see that I have my header 1 and my header 2. But the point of this was to see if we can get this style sheet to control the contents of this second web page. So if I open the file again with my notepad, and this time in the title, I'm going to add that link to the style sheet. So the relationship is that it's a style sheet. The href is the name of the style sheet. And now when I save this and I go back into my folder to open it, I can see that it is indeed being controlled by that style sheet. And if I go back into my primary web page and I scroll down to the bottom where that link was, now if I click the link here, it's going to take me to my second web page, which is indeed styled with my CSS file.